Many relationships fail not because love disappears, but because essential emotional needs go unnoticed. Men often struggle to express what they truly need, partly because society teaches them to appear strong, self-reliant, and unbothered. As a result, many men internalize feelings of frustration or disappointment rather than openly sharing them. Women, on the other hand, sometimes misinterpret this quietness as indifference or lack of commitment. This gap between perception and reality quietly erodes connection over time. One of the most fundamental needs men carry into relationships is respect, and yet it is something that often goes unspoken, unrecognized, and unmet. Respect is not about obedience or agreement. It is about acknowledging effort, intention, and responsibility. When a man invests energy into providing, protecting, or solving problems, he wants to feel that his efforts are noticed and valued, not criticized or minimized. A partner who constantly points out flaws or focuses on shortcomings unknowingly pushes him into a defensive state, where withdrawal becomes the default reaction. Respect manifests in listening to his perspective without immediate dismissal, validating his experiences and showing trust in his judgment. When respect is present, men naturally become more engaged, attentive, and emotionally available. When it is absent, even the most affectionate gestures struggle to maintain their impact, leaving the man feeling underappreciated and emotionally distant. The second crucial need is emotional appreciation. Men often show love through actions rather than words. They may take responsibility for tasks, plan for stability, or make sacrifices without complaint, yet many of these actions go unnoticed. Emotional appreciation is the recognition of these efforts, the acknowledgement of their value, and the expression of gratitude. It is not about flattery or constant praise, but about genuinely noticing and validating what he does to contribute to the relationship. When appreciation is absent, a man may feel invisible or taken for granted, which quietly diminishes his motivation to continue investing emotionally. Conversely, when appreciation is present, it fosters trust, encourages vulnerability, and strengthens the bond between partners. A simple acknowledgement of effort, a heartfelt thank you, or a thoughtful recognition of responsibility can dramatically shift the dynamic of a relationship. It reassures him that his love and work are not only seen but valued. Over time, this consistent acknowledgement builds loyalty, emotional openness, and a stronger sense of partnership. Without emotional appreciation, even the most committed men can begin to withdraw, creating distance that neither partner may fully understand until it becomes a serious concern. The third need is the sense of peace within the relationship. Life outside the home is already filled with stress, responsibility, and pressure, so when home becomes another source of tension, exhaustion, and emotional withdrawal follow. Men crave a relationship environment where disagreements can be handled constructively, where conflicts do not escalate into battles, and where home feels like a safe space rather than a war zone. Peace does not mean avoiding problems or suppressing feelings. It means approaching challenges with calm, respect, and maturity. It allows both partners to feel safe, heard, and supported, encouraging communication rather than defense. When men experience peace, they naturally become more present, affectionate, and engaged because the emotional environment allows them to let down their guard without fear of judgment or conflict. Conversely, constant tension, criticism, or unpredictability causes men to retreat into silence and detachment, even when they care deeply. A peaceful environment, combined with respect and appreciation, lays the foundation for trust, emotional intimacy, and long-term commitment. It is not a luxury. It is an essential emotional need that, when unmet, quietly erodes connection and prevents love from thriving. Another fundamental need that men carry into relationships is emotional validation. Many men have been conditioned to hide vulnerability, to solve problems silently, and to appear in control regardless of the stress or uncertainty they feel. Because of this, when a man chooses to share his thoughts, worries, or fears, it is an act of trust, an offering of intimacy that requires acknowledgement and care. Emotional validation is the recognition that his feelings are legitimate, understandable, and worth attention. It does not mean agreeing with everything he says or excusing mistakes. It means creating a safe space where his experiences are heard without judgment or immediate correction. Unfortunately, many relationships falter here because well-intentioned partners respond to emotional sharing with criticism, unsolicited advice, or minimizing statements. Even subtle dismissal, such as impatience or a lack of engagement, communicates that vulnerability is unwelcome. Over time, this causes men to retreat into silence, emotionally withdrawing to protect themselves from repeated exposure to perceived indifference. Emotional validation, on the other hand, fosters trust, encourages honest communication, and strengthens the bond by showing that love is not conditional on perfection or unerring competence. When a man feels that his inner world is respected and appreciated, he naturally reciprocates with loyalty, openness, and dedication, forming the foundation for deeper intimacy. Closely related to validation is the need for acknowledgement of effort. Men often demonstrate love and commitment through actions rather than constant verbal affirmation. They may take responsibility for family, manage financial obligations, support their partner's goals, or handle daily challenges without complaint. These efforts are significant, but they can be overlooked when the focus shifts primarily to shortcomings or unmet expectations. A simple recognition of what he contributes, whether in words, gestures, or even shared expressions of gratitude, can dramatically enhance emotional connection. When these actions are noticed and valued, men feel that their investment in the relationship is meaningful. Conversely, when contributions are ignored or taken for granted, it breeds a quiet frustration and diminishes emotional motivation. Men who feel consistently appreciated for their efforts are more likely to engage in acts of love and protection naturally, not out of obligation, but out of genuine desire to nurture the bond. This acknowledgement acts as an emotional mirror, reflecting back to him that his presence, responsibility, and devotion are both visible and valued. Without it, even the most well-intentioned partner may struggle to maintain openness and emotional availability over time. Finally, men require reassurance that the partnership is stable and secure. While physical commitment may be obvious, emotional security is often overlooked. Emotional security comes from knowing that disagreements, challenges, or personal struggles will not result in rejection or withdrawal. It is built through consistency, understanding, and the knowledge that his efforts and intentions are trusted. Men are naturally drawn to environments where their emotional contribution is safe, respected, and reciprocated. This reassurance does not mean avoiding conflict or shielding from accountability. It means approaching every challenge with empathy and cooperation rather than criticism or fear-based responses. A man who feels secure in the relationship is more likely to remain present, committed, and engaged in both good times and difficult moments. When emotional validation, acknowledgement of effort, and reassurance of stability coexist, men experience a sense of connection that fuels long-term loyalty, intimacy, and partnership. Without these elements, emotional distance quietly grows, often unnoticed until it becomes a significant barrier to lasting love. The third deep need that men carry into relationships is the need for emotional peace and stability. Life is filled with pressures, responsibilities, and stress, and men often look to their relationships as a source of refuge rather than additional conflict. When home or partnership feels chaotic, overly critical, or unpredictable, the mind and heart grow exhausted, leaving little energy for intimacy or emotional connection. Emotional peace does not mean avoiding necessary conversations or challenges. It means approaching disagreements with respect, calmness, and a shared desire for resolution rather than domination or blame. Men respond naturally to environments where problems can be discussed without fear of escalating into personal attacks or judgment. Stability is created when both partners handle conflicts thoughtfully, avoid unnecessary criticism, and maintain consistent communication. A peaceful relationship allows him to relax, open up, and invest emotionally without constantly guarding against negative reactions. Without this sense of security, men may retreat into silence or detachment, not because they lack love or commitment, but because constant tension erodes emotional energy. Another aspect of this need is the desire to feel supported as a partner in the relationship rather than as someone who must manage it alone. Men often take on responsibilities for the emotional, financial, or practical aspects of daily life, and when support is absent, pressure accumulates quietly. Support is not simply agreeing with every choice or shielding him from accountability. It is standing alongside him, offering encouragement, acknowledging effort, and participating in problem solving as a team. When support exists, men feel that their efforts are recognized and reciprocated, strengthening loyalty and emotional connection. This kind of partnership reduces the sense of isolation and fosters collaboration, creating a bond where both individuals feel empowered to face life's challenges together. Without it, men can begin to feel overburdened or undervalued, and emotional withdrawal becomes a protective response rather than a sign of indifference. Finally, men crave reassurance that their presence, choices, and contributions are appreciated and desired. Feeling chosen consistently reinforces connection and motivation to invest in the relationship. Men often express love through action, responsibility, and problem solving rather than constant verbal affirmation, so tangible signs of appreciation, acknowledgement, and emotional warmth carry enormous weight. When these expressions are present, men feel confident, motivated, and secure in their role as a partner. When they are absent, even the most loving intentions may be misinterpreted as indifference or lack of commitment. Peace, support, and reassurance create an environment where emotional intimacy can flourish naturally, allowing men to be fully present, open, and invested. A relationship that meets these needs does more than survive. It thrives, forming a partnership built on trust, loyalty, and emotional safety. Without attention to these core needs, connection erodes quietly over time, often leaving both partners wondering why love feels distant despite good intentions. A fourth critical need that men carry into relationships is the need to feel trusted and relied upon. Trust is not just about faithfulness or loyalty. It is about believing in his intentions, decisions, and ability to handle challenges. Men want to feel that their judgment is respected and that their partner believes they are capable of navigating life responsibly. When trust is absent, constant questioning, doubt, or micromanagement creates emotional tension and slowly undermines connection. Men may appear to comply outwardly, but internally, distrust fosters frustration and emotional withdrawal. Genuine trust, on the other hand, allows men to take responsibility confidently, make decisions without fear of constant criticism, and share vulnerabilities without worry. Trust communicates that their partner sees them as an equal contributor to the relationship, rather than as someone to be controlled or constantly corrected. When men feel trusted, they become more emotionally engaged, proactive, and invested in maintaining harmony and connection. Without trust, emotional distance quietly grows, creating misunderstandings and resentment that neither partner may fully understand until it begins to impact intimacy and communication. Closely tied to trust is the need for encouragement in personal growth and ambition. Many men connect their sense of purpose and identity to achievement, whether in career, personal development, or long-term goals. A partner who encourages these pursuits, rather than competing, belittling, or dismissing them, strengthens not only his confidence but the bond itself. Support for ambition does not require constant agreement or involvement. It requires a mindset of belief and partnership, showing that you see his efforts as meaningful and worthwhile. Men naturally invest more emotionally when they feel their aspirations are recognized and valued. When encouragement is absent, discouragement quietly seeps in, reducing motivation and sometimes causing emotional withdrawal. Recognizing, validating, and celebrating his efforts fosters a sense of teamwork, loyalty, and emotional closeness that cannot be replaced by material comforts or surface-level affection. Encouragement strengthens the relationship by showing that growth and partnership can coexist, rather than forcing one to overshadow the other. Finally, men need a sense of choice and desire in the relationship. Feeling chosen consistently reinforces emotional connection and motivates continued investment. Men often demonstrate love through action, responsibility, and protection, and they notice when these contributions are acknowledged and appreciated. When a partner shows active interest, affection, and appreciation, men feel emotionally secure and motivated to reciprocate. Without these expressions, a man may feel taken for granted or invisible, even when his efforts are significant. Feeling desired is not about constant affirmation, it is about consistent reassurance that his presence, love, and contributions matter. This sense of choice, combined with trust and encouragement, allows men to fully engage, emotionally invest, and remain committed to nurturing the relationship. When these core needs are met, emotional intimacy deepens, loyalty strengthens, and love thrives. When they are absent, even the most caring man can withdraw silently, leaving a relationship at risk despite both partners' good intentions. A fifth vital need that men have in relationships is the need for acknowledgement of their consistent efforts. Men often express love through action rather than words. They take responsibility for practical matters, protect and provide for their partner, and quietly carry burdens that are unseen or underappreciated. While these actions may seem ordinary or expected, they are deeply meaningful to him and form the backbone of his contribution to the relationship. Without acknowledgement, these efforts can go unnoticed, creating a sense of invisibility or underappreciation. This lack of recognition does not only affect his motivation, it also chips away at his emotional presence over time. A simple expression of gratitude, a thoughtful word, or even noticing the little things he does can reinforce his sense of purpose in the partnership. When efforts are recognized, men feel validated and understood, which naturally increases their investment in the relationship. On the other hand, when actions are ignored, even the most intentional gestures can feel futile, leading to quiet withdrawal or emotional disengagement. Consistent acknowledgement strengthens trust, connection, and long-term loyalty because it signals that his contributions, though not always spoken about, matter deeply to his partner and the shared life they are building together. Another key element within this need is the importance of emotional encouragement. Many men face societal pressures that discourage open emotional expression, creating an environment where vulnerability is risky or uncomfortable. When a man takes the courageous step of sharing his thoughts, fears, or aspirations, he hopes for a partner who responds with understanding rather than judgment. Emotional encouragement involves validating his experiences, showing empathy for his struggles, and affirming that his feelings and efforts are seen and appreciated. It does not require agreement or constant praise. It requires attentive listening, acknowledgement, and support for growth and progress. Without emotional encouragement, men may stop sharing openly, retreating into silence to protect themselves from repeated dismissal or criticism. When encouragement is present, it fosters vulnerability, emotional availability, and a stronger bond because he feels safe to engage fully in the relationship without fear of misunderstanding or rejection. Finally, men need reassurance that they are chosen, valued, and desired in the relationship consistently. Feeling emotionally chosen reinforces confidence, security, and motivation to invest in the partnership. Men often communicate love through action and responsibility, and when these contributions are noticed and appreciated, it strengthens emotional intimacy. Feeling desired is not about constant flattery or superficial attention. It is about consistent recognition that his presence, commitment, and efforts are meaningful and welcomed. This reassurance creates a sense of emotional safety, allowing him to remain open, invested, and loyal. When acknowledgement, encouragement, and reassurance come together, they form a foundation that sustains intimacy, trust, and long-term connection. Without these elements, even the most caring and committed man can slowly disengage, leaving the relationship vulnerable to distance, miscommunication, and unmet expectations. A sixth essential need that men have in relationships is the need for loyalty and unwavering support. Loyalty goes beyond physical faithfulness. It includes defending the relationship emotionally, maintaining trust, and standing alongside him during both victories and setbacks. Men naturally invest more in relationships where they feel confident that their partner is committed not just in presence, but in intent, values, and actions. When loyalty is absent, even small challenges or disagreements can feel like threats, and uncertainty quietly undermines emotional connection. True loyalty communicates that a partner values the relationship enough to protect it, support it, and prioritize it consistently over time. Men who feel this sense of security are more willing to show vulnerability, take risks in emotional honesty, and invest their energy wholeheartedly because they trust that the bond is mutual and reliable. Without loyalty, a man may begin to emotionally distance himself, not because of a lack of love, but to protect himself from repeated instability, doubt, or betrayal. Loyalty is the silent glue that strengthens commitment, fosters trust, and ensures that the emotional foundation of the relationship remains intact, even when external pressures arise. Closely connected to loyalty is the need for emotional partnership. Men want to feel that challenges, responsibilities, and successes are shared rather than shouldered alone. Emotional partnership means having a teammate, someone who collaborates, listens, and offers support during both struggles and growth. It is not about solving every problem for him, nor is it about agreeing with every decision. It is about demonstrating alignment, empathy, and shared investment in the relationship's well-being. When a partner shows genuine emotional partnership, men feel understood and validated, which naturally increases engagement and trust. Without it, he may feel isolated, overburdened, or undervalued, causing subtle emotional withdrawal that can slowly erode intimacy. Emotional partnership is essential because relationships thrive not merely on affection or attraction, but on the mutual experience of facing life together. It fosters resilience, deepens emotional bonds, and encourages both partners to invest in growth, compromise, and connection. Finally, men have a profound need to feel admired and respected for their character, efforts, and vision. Respect is not about submission or agreement in every matter. It is the acknowledgement of his intentions, responsibility, and contribution. Men who feel admired are inspired to protect, provide, and engage more deeply in the relationship because they know their efforts matter. This admiration can be expressed through verbal acknowledgement, gratitude, or even subtle daily actions that demonstrate awareness and appreciation. When respect is missing, criticism, judgment, or comparison can create feelings of inadequacy and emotional retreat. The combination of loyalty, emotional partnership, and respect creates a stable, secure, and motivating environment that encourages men to remain fully invested emotionally. When these needs are consistently met, men feel trusted, valued, and inspired to nurture the relationship, ensuring that connection, intimacy, and commitment thrive over time. A seventh crucial need that men carry into relationships is the need for consistent and respectful communication. Communication is not merely about exchanging words. It is about creating an environment where thoughts, feelings, and concerns can be shared openly without fear of judgment, ridicule, or dismissal. Many men are hesitant to express vulnerability because past experiences have taught them that sharing emotions often leads to criticism or misunderstandings. When communication is handled with respect and clarity, it fosters trust, encourages emotional openness, and deepens connection. Men feel motivated to engage and invest when they know that expressing concerns or emotions will not trigger conflict or undermine their sense of self. Conversely, When conversations consistently become arguments or involve sarcasm, blame, or exaggeration, emotional walls begin to form. Even small patterns of disrespect in communication can accumulate over time, quietly eroding intimacy. Men need partners who can listen actively, respond thoughtfully, and address challenges constructively. Respectful communication does not mean avoiding difficult topics. It means approaching them with empathy, patience, and a shared goal of understanding rather than winning. When this need is met, men feel safe to share openly, contribute to problem solving, and participate fully in the emotional life of the relationship, strengthening the bond over time. Another significant aspect of communication is the need for acknowledgement of effort and intention. Men often demonstrate love through actions rather than constant verbal affirmation. Whether it is planning for stability, supporting their partner's goals, or managing responsibilities, these contributions can easily go unnoticed if communication lacks recognition. When these efforts are acknowledged verbally or through subtle appreciation, it reinforces their value and encourages further engagement. Lack of acknowledgement can create frustration, emotional withdrawal, and a sense that their presence is taken for granted. Men thrive in relationships where their actions are seen, understood, and valued because it communicates that their commitment and love are noticed and meaningful. When verbal recognition is paired with respectful dialogue, men feel emotionally connected, motivated, and confident in investing fully in the relationship. Finally, men need clarity and honesty in communication. Ambiguity, mixed signals, or inconsistent messages create uncertainty, which leads to anxiety, frustration, and emotional detachment. Men want to know where they stand, what is expected, and how their efforts are perceived. Clear and honest communication allows both partners to align expectations, navigate challenges collaboratively, and prevent unnecessary misunderstandings. When honesty is combined with respect, acknowledgement, and active listening, it fosters emotional safety and strengthens intimacy. Men feel secure, valued, and encouraged to remain committed and fully engaged. Without this, even the most loving and well-intentioned man may quietly withdraw, leaving emotional distance where none was intended. Effective communication forms the backbone of connection, ensuring that love, trust, and partnership can flourish over time. An eighth and equally important need that men carry into relationships is the need to feel emotionally safe and supported in being themselves. Many men are conditioned to present a strong, capable, and unshakable image to the world, often masking vulnerabilities or internal struggles. In a relationship, they hope for a partner who can see beyond the facade, acknowledge their authentic selves, and respond with patience, understanding, and care. Emotional safety does not mean avoiding difficult conversations or challenges. It means creating a space where a man can share insecurities, fears, and doubts without fear of judgment, ridicule, or rejection. When men feel emotionally safe, they are more likely to open up, communicate honestly, and invest in the relationship with full presence and intention. Without this sense of security, even men who care deeply can retreat behind walls of silence and self-protection, which gradually erodes intimacy. Emotional safety fosters vulnerability, trust, and connection, laying the foundation for a strong, resilient partnership. Closely connected to emotional safety is the need for partnership in decision-making and problem-solving. Men want to feel that challenges, responsibilities, and life's complexities are faced together, not shouldered alone. They appreciate a partner who contributes thoughtfully, collaborates willingly, and demonstrates that the relationship is a shared endeavor. This does not mean relinquishing independence or avoiding accountability. It means approaching decisions and obstacles as a team with mutual respect and understanding. When men feel supported in partnership, they are more likely to take initiative, remain emotionally engaged, and feel confident that their efforts and intentions are aligned with someone who genuinely cares about the relationship's success. When partnership is absent or inconsistent, men may feel burdened, isolated, or undervalued, leading to subtle emotional withdrawal that can slowly undermine connection. True partnership fosters trust, collaboration, and a shared sense of purpose that strengthens the bond over time. Finally, men have a profound need to feel admired and respected for their character, choices, and contributions. Respect and admiration are not about blind compliance or agreement in every matter. They are about recognizing effort, intention, and integrity. Men who feel admired are inspired to protect, nurture, and invest in the relationship because they understand that their actions and presence matter. Simple gestures of acknowledgement, gratitude, and genuine appreciation go a long way in reinforcing respect and emotional security. Without respect, criticism, comparison, or disregard can create feelings of inadequacy and cause men to distance themselves emotionally. When emotional safety, partnership, and admiration are consistently present, men feel valued, secure, and motivated to invest in the relationship fully. This combination creates a fertile environment for lasting intimacy, loyalty, and deep connection. When these needs are unmet, emotional withdrawal quietly grows, often leaving both partners confused about why closeness has diminished despite mutual care and intention.